Kristaps Porzingis, poor Moses Moody, Buddy Hield, Tracy Jackson-Davis and Gue Santos. Novo. Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your. The need for a great center could lead the Warriors to give up several players if they want a high-level center. Kristaps Porzingis has experience in playoff games and is an NBA champion, so he will be a great acquisition for the Warriors. Trade suggestion to bring a great center to the Warriors. If Kristaps Porzingis is available, he is the ideal player to play with Stephen Curry. In this trade, the Warriors will send Buddy Hield and other players to the Boston Celtics. Warriors predicted to fill major team need in trade for Celtics champion. The NBA offseason is right around the corner, and one team that is likely looking to make some upgrades to their roster in the Golden State Warriors. Golden State was able to turn their season around after adding Jimmy Butler at the trade deadline to pair alongside Stephen Curry and Draymond Green as the Warriors became a title contender with him on their roster. Unfortunately for the Warriors, their championship hopes came to a halt in the second round as they fell in 5 games to the Minnesota Timberwolves after Curry suffered an injury in Game 1 that sidelined him for the remainder of the series. Now the Warriors enter a crucial offseason as they try to build around their aging core and compete for a championship next season. Of course, the main area of weakness for Golden State is the center position, as they have lacked a true starting center over the past couple of seasons, instead using Green to fill the void. That could change this summer, though, especially if they are able to pull off a trade with the Boston Celtics like a recent mock trade from Bleacher Report suggested. In the trade, the Warriors would receive Kristaps Porzingis from the Celtics in exchange for Moses Moody, Buddy Hield, Tracy Jackson-Davis and Gue Santos. It has been reported that Boston could look to cut some salary in the offseason, and Porzingis has found himself in trade rumors, but for the Celtics to agree to this offer, the Warriors may have to offer more, including possibly Jonathan Kuminga in a sign-and trade. Either way, Porzingis would fill a major void in the Warriors' starting lineup, as he would give them a great rim protector and would also help them space the floor next to Curry, allowing Butler and Green to work inside. While this would be a great trade for Golden State, they may not want to take a risk on adding Porzingis due to his injury history and instead target a different center to address their main area of need. Warriors could lose crucial star due to clashing roster plans. The Golden State Warriors may not have had a prayer against the mighty Oklahoma City Thunder in the Western Conference Finals, but it certainly seems feasible that they could have given the Minnesota Timberwolves a real series if All-Stars Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler hadn't been hurt. Curry strained his hamstring in Game 1 of the team's second-round series against Minnesota and missed the final 4 contests of the series. Butler, meanwhile, had been grappling with a deep glute contusion since the first round and appeared to lack a lot of the burst that makes him such a special two-way talent. So the Warriors' 2025 playoff run ended in the semifinals. Now, Golden State could be losing a key star due to different perspectives on roster needs. According to Anthony Slater of The Athletic, fourth-year Warriors forward Jonathan Kuminga is angling to leverage his restricted free agency this summer to either carve out more minutes and responsibilities in Golden State or elsewhere. February 8, Brandon Podziemski number 2 and Jonathan Kuminga number 00 of the Golden State Warriors walks across the court in the first quarter against the Indiana Pacers at Gainbridge Fieldhouse on February 8. More photo by Dylan Buell/Getty Images. The Warriors, meanwhile, would prefer to harness him as a downhill scorer and athletic defender, while de-emphasizing his time with the ball. The cleanest path is finding a sign-and-trade scenario that delivers the Warriors veterans who fit the unique Steve Kerr system built around Curry, Green, and now Butler, 3 unique and proven winners, Slater writes. Kuminga, still just 22, proved to be a frustrating contributor. A score-first forward with intriguing athleticism, he seemed to thrive most when with the ball in his hands, a reality that can't come to fruition much on a team with proud vets like Curry, Butler, and Draymond Green. Biggest fix Warriors must make in 2025 NBA offseason. The Golden State Warriors are trying to squeeze what they can out of the remaining years in the Stephen Curry era. If one more championship is to find its way to the Bay Area, the Warriors will need a strong offseason approach. The front office in Golden State has added to a strong foundation for success by bringing in Jimmy Butler to star alongside Curry and Draymond Green. However, there will still be more moves needed to truly establish the team as contenders. Warriors' biggest fix is obvious. Zach Buckley of Bleacher Report recently wrote up an article focusing on the biggest fixes necessary for every team in the association. The selection for the Warriors was always an obvious one. Buckley identified support scoring as Golden State's biggest necessary fix this summer. The NBA writer pointed out how Curry-dependent the Warriors are. Their inability to get a single playoff win without him suggests they probably didn't have enough to win big even if they had kept him upright, Buckley wrote before adding more thoughts to consider. The Warriors' model for competing at a high level includes ferocious defense and Curry's brilliance at the more glamorous end. They'll need a deeper offensive menu to make it all work, though. This was a mediocre attack this season, 16th in efficiency, and it's hard to see their championship dreams becoming a reality unless or until that changes. Zach Buckley. The Warriors showed plenty of promise offensively post-All-Star break. They ranked 7th in the league when it came to offensive rating. However, Buckley's point of being overly reliant on Curry stands. In the NBA playoffs, the Warriors were 13th in offensive rating, 108.6, out of the 16 qualifying teams. It gets worse when looking at their offensive rating for their 5-game series against the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Warriors had a mark of 104.5. That is a team crying out for help. Warriors facing frightening draft issue before even making a selection. This could be problematic. As the Golden State Warriors enter the NBA draft with only the 41st overall pick in their possession, they will look to add another player who can make surprise contributions to the team. However, their hopes of performing another miracle could be in jeopardy this offseason, as it has been reported by Jonathan Givony that many players have withdrawn from the draft in favor of pursuing nil money with another year in college, making this one of the shallowest second rounds we've seen in a few years. Now, as the Warriors look to reshape their roster for next season, they could be facing an additional hurdle in trying to maximize the value of their sole draft pick. A shallow draft could harm the Warriors. Golden State, as part of the heavily packaged trade for Jimmy Butler, sent off their 2025 first-round pick to the Miami Heat with no protections. Thankfully, the Butler experiment worked exceedingly well during the regular season, rendering that pick a relatively low one. As part of the return, they received a second-round pick for the 2025 draft. While the Warriors own their first-round picks for the next 4 seasons, it is likely that some of these will be traded in an effort to bolster their roster, especially if another star becomes available. Moreover, with their championship window being set to close at the expiration of Butler, Stephen Curry, and Draymond Green's contracts, the franchise will need to start stockpiling and developing talent now. While multiple college talents, such as Chaz Lanier from Tennessee and Johnny Broome from Auburn, project to still be available around that time in the draft, Givony's comments make it seem like it will be difficult for the Warriors to find a diamond in the rough like they have done in years past. Quinton Post, who was the 52nd overall pick in last year's draft, had a stellar rookie season for Golden State after being called up from the G League in January, averaging 8.1 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 1.3 assists on 40.8% shooting from beyond the arc. Guy Santos, who played effective and energetic minutes in his second season with the Warriors, was the 55th overall pick in 2022. Going back even further, the franchise nabbed Draymond Green with the 35th overall pick in the 2012 NBA draft. While it is clear that talented NBA players can be found in the second round, and that the Golden State organization has been able to find them in the past, the depth of this year's class could make that task near impossible for a team starved for young talent. Warriors guard undergoes unexpected offseason surgery. The Golden State Warriors season ended abruptly in the second round of the playoffs at the hands of the number 6 seed Minnesota Timberwolves. The Warriors were sent home in 5 games after their superstar Stephen Curry missed most of the series due to a left hamstring injury. The injury certainly hampered their ability in the series. However, another Warriors guard, Brandon Podziemski, suffered an injury of his own. Podziemski injured his left wrist and underwent surgery on Tuesday. Brandon Podziemski underwent successful left wrist debridement surgery yesterday in Los Angeles. He is expected to make a full recovery and be ready for the start of training camp, wrote the Warriors' social media account. Podziemski is expected to make a full recovery and be ready for training camp in late September. Podziemski is now the second Warriors player to have surgery this offseason. Forward Moses Moody previously underwent a procedure to repair a torn ulnar collateral ligament in his right thumb. Like Podziemski, Moody is expected to be fully recovered in time for the start of training camp. There was no indication that Podziemski was dealing with a left wrist injury prior to the news breaking. The second-year guard was solid, averaging 11.7 points per game, 5.1 rebounds, 3.4 assists, and 1.1 steals while shooting 44.5% from the field and 36.2% from three in 64 games and 26.8 minutes of action. As far as the playoffs went, Podziemski was solid in his first playoff appearance, averaging 11.3 points per game, 5.0 rebounds, 3.1 assists, and 1.3 steals while shooting 36.4% from the field and 32.8% from three in 12 games and 32.1 minutes of action. Podziemski made a name for himself in his rookie season after the Warriors selected him out of Santa Clara with the number 19 overall pick in the 2023 NBA draft. He earned a spot in the rotation right out of the gate and finished fifth in the 2024 Rookie of the Year race. The Warriors finished with a 48-34 record in the loaded Western Conference, which was good for the number 7 seed. They defeated the number 2 seed Houston Rockets in the first round in 7 games. After starting the season with a 25-25 record, they finished the season with a 23-9 record. Stephen Curry makes new announcement on retirement after Warriors' season-ending loss. Stephen Curry had another successful campaign with the Golden State Warriors. Despite being an older NBA superstar, Curry's ability to light it up from beyond the arc and consistently attract attention on the perimeter has allowed him to succeed in his late 30s. Sadly, the four-time NBA champion point guard suffered a postseason-altering Grade 1 hamstring strain to begin Golden State's Western Conference semifinal series against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Curry was forced to watch from the sidelines as Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves eliminated the Dubs in 5 games. Impressively, the Davidson product remained in good spirits after the second-round defeat, stating that he believes he has plenty left in the tank at age 37. Although Curry isn't prepared to retire now, he recently provided an update on what life could look like for him once he steps away from the NBA. "I love the idea of people giving fans a new perspective and good storytelling through podcasting," Curry said on May 24. "It does get a little loud at times, but some people are really good at it though. You won't see me doing it, though, once he retires, so don't worry about that. I got a lot of other things I want to do. Because if you're going to do something, you have to be all in. It's not something I'm passionate about." Curry, who averaged 24.7 points per game this season while shooting 39.7% from downtown, doesn't appear to have a personality that's perfect for podcasting. The 6'2" phenom will give intriguing insights when in front of the camera, but is likely more comfortable operating behind the scenes and avoiding the drama that can ensue in the sports media world. With Curry hoping to win championship number 5 in the big leagues, there's a good chance the 42.3% career long-range sniper is far more focused on ensuring he's ready to roll mentally and physically for the 2025-26 campaign.